Hey guys, welcome back to my Flash Funding YouTube channel. Today we are joined with Billy, who is a funded trader of MyFlashFunding, has very recently received a payout from MyFlash as well. In today's interview, we're going to deep dive into his story, how he became a profitable trader, how he came to know about MyFlashFunding, how's his experience with MyFlash, as well as his trading strategy that he has used to complete the evaluation and also is using to trade on different accounts. Congratulations, man, for your recent payout. Tell us something about yourself, who you are, where you're from.
Where am I from? I'm Canadian, so I'm actually from the prairies, which is kind of right in the center. So that's where I grew up. But now I'm currently on the West Coast in British Columbia. So I've been there for just a little while now. I'm making the move. I'm actually back home right now, visiting family and staying with my dad. So yeah.
That's great. That's great. How you came to know about trading?
Oh boy. I thought about this earlier and I didn't know the exact answer to this, but probably 5 or 6 years ago, I was just wanting to get out of, the rat race, the nine to
Yeah.
five. So I started looking into other things. I started getting into real estate, which I still do. But that was kind of one of the vehicles I wanted to use. And just honestly, through networking, just, getting around like-minded people, it just kind of happened. Can't remember exactly how it happened, but I do know that a friend of mine was the first one to kind of get me into it. And he got me into using EAs
Yeah.
to start with. And I'll be honest, he didn't know much either. So we were kind of blind when we came into this, and the company we chose was not the greatest.
Uh-huh.
So I knew absolutely nothing about trading. I didn't know what drawdown was. I didn't know what lot size was. I didn't know any of that, and I basically just put money into this spot. Nothing crazy. I think couple $1,000 or something. Nothing nuts. I wanted to test it out, see how it was, and it went okay for the first 3 weeks or so. It was a martingale bot, which now I know is not the best. So I remember
Yeah.
them always telling me, "Don't worry about those red numbers." They didn't tell me what it was. They said, "Don't worry about that. The further you're in drawdown, the more money you'll make," is what they always told. I come to know now that that's bullshit. But
Yeah. Yeah.
that got us in. So I did actually that kind of got my feet wet, and I lost what I put in there. That bot did great for about a month, and then UJ went on a tear and took away everything. So, but for some reason, I stuck around, even though my
Yeah.
first experience was not a great one. As I think most people's experiences start off, it always starts off rough.
Yep.
Trading's sounds simple, but it's not. It's simple, but it's not easy. So yeah, that didn't go well, and I don't know, I just kind of realized that this is something I want to try, and I don't want to be in the mercy of a company. So basically, it was like a third party company that supplies these bots, and I didn't want that. They could shut down at any time, change bots, whatever, right? So I just decided that I wanted to do it manually and learn. So I just dove in. And to be honest, I just kind of stumbled on something on YouTube, and that was the first,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
learning experience I had. I just dove into there. It's pretty easy stuff. I didn't have a strategy. I just wanted to learn how to start. So that kind of got me in, and the rest is kind of in history. There's a lot more in between, obviously, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Makes sense.
yeah, it wasn't a super exciting story. It just kind of happened organically. And yeah, not sure why I stuck. Honestly, I liked it right off the bat, which is different because I tried a few different things, and there definitely been some things that almost right off the bat I knew this is not for me, right? Um, Dealing with people isn't always my favorite thing to do. So trading was always good that way, right? Like I knew if I fail, it's my fault. If I win, it's my fault. So
Yeah.
kind of like that about it. I just kept going.
That's good, man. How much time it took you to become profitable? Like, when was the very first time when you made profits on your account?
Well, I was working full time too, so I own a company with my dad. So you know, things are always busy. So obviously, I didn't get to put enough as much time as I would have liked, but I still made sure I did an hour or two every day after work.
Yeah.
So it took me, let's see, it's probably because I'm still fresh as far as I've been trading for just over 3 years, which in the trading world is still pretty new, right? So I would say my first actual payout that I was able to pull out and see it in my bank account was October, November. So it's still not that
Oh,
long
yeah.
ago. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
probably took me 2.5 years. I mean, I did make money, but I never pulled anything out. Like I had a live account that I did slowly make some money, but then I'd lose some money, and it was a big learning process. And then I don't think I touched live for over a year
Yeah.
once I
Uh-huh.
realized,
All right. Yeah.
right, it's stupid to be learning with live money, but that took me a while to figure out. So I traded with demo accounts for well over a year, probably closer to a year and a half. And then, I took a few challenges too, few prep firm
Mm-hmm.
challenges. I failed probably 5 or 6. Honestly, I think the first one I did, I didn't even really have a strategy going in. It
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
so
You just wanted to try something, yeah?
I just
Yep.
wanted to dive in, and I learned real quick that it's not so easy because I'd done some testing and stuff, and I kind of had a strategy, but I kind of had like 3.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get into the real deal, it's much different. So I think I took 2 right off the bat, failed them both almost immediately, and then I took some time and then tried a couple other ones, and then I was getting, I passed phase 1, I was making progress, and then yeah, eventually I passed my first one like September or October
Yeah.
last year.
With which firm?
Which firm?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can say that here. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, no worries at
It
all.
was I didn't know how that all worked, but no, it was my Forex funds, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So I
they were
got one payout with them, and then
yeah, they went.
they implode. So I actually had 2 funded accounts with them. I was able to get 2. I wanted just the way I strategy with prop firms that I have. I want to trade 1 till I reach my goal, change over. So, anyways, I had 2, and I lost both of those. So I pretty much had to start from scratch, which is tough,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It
I
doesn't do much for your confidence.
I remember I also had one 200K account with my Forex fund, and when they were shut down, so my account was also gone.
Yeah, it's deflating,
Yeah.
especially like that was my very first one. So I just felt like, I had all this confidence, like, yes, this is gonna work. I'm gonna make this happen. And
And
then 2 weeks later, after I spent all that time getting it, it blew up. So I'd be lying if I didn't say I took a good month off after that. That was a tough one.
yep.
But I got back in. I just realized like I just needed some time, and then I got back in. Um, I don't know when that would be, November, I guess. And
Uh-huh.
I've gotten 5 or 6 funded accounts now
All right, that's nice.
throughout
That's very nice.
various ones. I started small, like my first couple, just because I with MFF I dove in it with 50,000 and 100,000 or something. Anyways, cost me more, right?
Yep.
So this time after MFF folded, I was a little nervous, so I started with 10K, and then I got 2 of those, and then I went to 50, and then now I'm just getting into the hundreds.
That's nice. That's nice. I always say it's better to diversify our portfolio once we're going with the firms. So there are firms out there like MyFlashFunding, FTMO, and other firms as well. We can simply just take multiple challenges, whether they are 50K each or 100K each. We can just diversify our portfolio. So that way, if something happens to one firm, at least overall, we will not be affected. Like I remember at the time when my FF was shut down, I had one account with them. I had one account with True Forex Fund, one with Bespoke Funding, and 500K funded account with the Funded Trader program, which I lost in February, by the way. So,
So you and I love
so I
that.
was funded over 1 million already. So that did not hurt me, of course. Like I felt like I was trading, I was in profits when they were shut down. So of course it kind of hurt me, but that did not really have that much impact because I was funded with other firms as well at the time.
Absolutely, and it's kind of where I'm at now. I mean, when I first started, I didn't really know this, and I've had some guidance now, right?
Yeah.
Some experience too. I took some time off my job for about 6 months. I was still doing some other stuff and doing some stuff remotely, but I took some time and I wanted to make this work. So I took 6 months and just dove into it for 6 months
That's perfect.
every day. Treated it like a job, 8 hours a day, and it was huge. I made massive leaps. So I kind of do the same thing, right? Like it's good to diversify. You have your favorite firms, and MyFlashFunding is definitely one of them. I'm sure we'll talk about that, but yeah, I've diversified too, where I know I think it's better to have 450,000 maybe than
Yeah.
200,000 sometimes, right? Especially that with your 14-day payout period,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah.
have
Bi-weekly
like for
payout.
me, I shoot for between 3 and 4%, and as soon as I get it, I close that one off, move to the
That's
next
one
one,
very good way. Yeah.
right? And that seems to work really well that way. Like you said, if you lose one, you only lose one. You still got other ones to go, and
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you restart, take another challenge. That's the idea. Yeah, when I first started this, I assumed, I have to get 100,000 off the start, and you learn, you live, you learn, and I'm learning. So.
And that's perfect. That's perfect. How much you have received total overall with the firms in general, like the payouts with all firms? And
That's
how
a good
much
question.
and how much is it with MyFlashFunding as well?
MyFlashFunding now, I think I'm waiting for one right now. Um, that's just with the 50K. So I think it's up to between 7 and 8,000.
That's nice.
But that's also since when did I get funded? With probably February sometime, I think.
All right. So in just
Late
two, three
January or
months.
February. So however many 2 week intervals there have been is how many payouts I've had. And like I said, I shoot for 3 to 4. So it's
Yeah.
1,500 to 2,000 every time. So it's somewhere in that range. And then all time, I don't know, maybe 15-ish,
All right. That's
something like
nice.
that. Like I said, again, it's only since October. So, and I was one account at a time. So now I'm starting to scale up, and I'm taking. Well, I always have 3 or 4 on the go, right? So I'm hoping to, like you said, you had up to upwards of 1 million, and that's what I'm going for. But it's going to take some time. So,
That's perfect.
but
That's
I'm happy with where I am because I mean, even percentage wise, it's been pretty good. Like what
yeah.
I've spent on challenges as opposed to what I've made is, yeah, I'm doing really good in that sense. So as long as I can scale it up, I'll be doing well.
So if you I always say this, if you develop one profitable strategy and you stick to it and you manage your risk well, prop firms are the best opportunities these days. We just put $5,000. Let's say I was doing one fundy trader interview with one of our trader, and he told me like he put $5,000 in challenges at one with my flash funding, and in just 2 months he ended up doing $60,000 in payouts from my flash. So the amount that you are just investing, it's 5,000, and the return on that it's more than 10x, more than 12x, which is crazy.
Excellent. Yeah, you can't do that with a live account. If you throw
Yep.
$5,000 into a live account, I mean, it's going to be years before
Yep.
you're
Yep.
pulling any money up. There's no question. It's such a fast way to success. Not fast, but faster,
Yep.
right? It gives you that leverage, which wasn't available before, and that's huge, massive.
Yep, yep, yep. I
Yeah,
started back in 2017. I remember at the time there were no firms. FTMO was there, but nobody really knew about them. So
yeah,
later on in 2019, when I came to know about FTMO, it was only FTMO and one firm which was shut down by FCA, BlueFX. So these two were funding traders, and I took a challenge with FTMO, and BlueFX was just giving instant funding accounts at the time. So I was trading with both, and literally I did not really trust them initially because I was, it was my third year of trading, and it was
right.
hard to believe that there can be that easy path that we can simply just complete the valuation and get the funded account, and then on top of that we will be receiving 70-80% of the payouts. So at the time FTMO was giving 70%. So when I came to know about these firms, it was literally a game changer for me. And just in last 2 years, I did over 250K, including 160,000 in payouts from the firms.
That's awesome. It's unreal. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. So can you share your trading strategy, how you trade and how you take the trades, basically?
Yeah, I essentially do. It's all supply and demand. I
All right.
really don't any indicators at all, right? Supply and demand zones. I do use the VWAP too. It's basically just an extra influence. I started out when I first really got into like developing a strategy a while back. I was doing smart money. So
Yep.
I've kind of integrated that too into it. Again, it's more of another confluence, right? When I got an order block on one of my supply and demand zones, and then yeah, I just look for a good entry candle. I generally do pendings, so I'll look like for a breakout candle, and then I'll set my pending at the previous candle's wick or right above the body, depending on the candle. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Like I just get on the charts, I go the daily, and I mark out all my daily zones down to the 4, do it 4, do it with the hour and the 15, and then I take my trades on the 3 minute and the 5 minute. So I like to. I mean, the whole reason I got into trading too is to not spend it all my day working, right? So I try to keep it within certain times.
Yeah.
And so I like the smaller time frames like that because I'm in and out sometimes in like sometimes 10 minutes. Like there's a day last week I think was up. I was on the West Coast, so market opens at 6:30. So I was up at 5 a.m. But I think I took the trade at 6:30, and I think by 6:37 I was done for the day.
Oh,
It just
that's very
happened.
nice. Yeah.
Right? I caught a good move, and I was done for the day. So that's kind of what I like. So yeah, I look for a few different things, but it's mainly supply and demand. And like I said, I do use order blocks and liquidity and such, but it's hard to explain in words without breaking it down visually,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. I've tried out a few different strategies. I'm sure lots of people have. And I found that the best is simple. I know there's a few where
Yep.
I got 17 indicators on there and you're waiting like, oh, it's just too much sometimes. And this was just like, I'm just looking for the zone. I'm looking for it's all about the rules too, right? And if it's not there, I don't take it. And that's one thing I've learned a lot in the last little while is don't go chasing trades, right? And sometimes I don't trade. Sometimes it'll be 3 days I
That's
don't
very
trade
nice.
because it's just
Yeah.
line up perfect. And that's something I didn't do before, right? If I was up and I made the effort to wake up early in the morning, do all this stuff, I felt like I had to trade. And 9 times out of 10, they were losing trades. So yeah, I don't know what else I can say about the strategy. Like I said, it's pretty simple.
Simplicity
It's all
is the key, man.
supply and demand. And then I just wait for my candle confirmations, and I got a list of different ones I'm looking for, right? And a lot of people I trade with do market executions, and for some reason I prefer pendings.
All
I
right.
like to get in a better price. It doesn't always work out because sometimes it'll come and it'll tap my entry, but the spread won't get me in, and then I
Yeah.
watch it take off. And so I mean that comes down to your emotion control too. It's hard not to want to just get in anyways, but you got to watch it take off without you sometimes, just the way it goes.
Talking about the emotional control, when you take a loss, it happened to me a long time ago, like back in 2016, 17, sorry, 17 and 18.
Yeah.
So what I used to do, like when I was taking a loss, the next trade I was just randomly chasing instead of me waiting for the opportunity because I was too emotional and every single loss that I was taking, it was affecting me a lot. How do you control your emotions when you take a loss?
I don't know, just over time. I mean, I still feel it sometimes. I make rules for myself that I have written down, and they're right in front of my computer. And
Yeah.
after a loss, I make myself read them. And yeah, I have a rule like I only take a max like 2 losses in a day, and I'm done.
Oh, that's good.
Sometimes it's one, right? It just depends how much it affects me. I don't exactly know what I do. I think it's just come with experience over the last year. Seeing what that does to me and how much it affects me, and that, like you said, like chasing trades, it's a losing game. You
Yep.
always like it's just revenge trading, and it's crazy because you get angry at the markets.
Yep.
Like they don't even know I exist.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but I get angry. Like so, I've just had to. I don't know. I don't really have a trick to it. I think you got to know yourself.
Yeah.
Uh, like some days that one loss will really affect me, and
Yeah.
I just tell myself I need to step away. Other days I take a loss and it doesn't phase me at all. I keep going, and those are usually the days if I take a loss and it doesn't affect me either way. They usually end up being winning days. Sorry, but yeah, just I think it's just knowing yourself, right? I wish I had a better trick to tell people, but I think it just comes with experience. I think you have
Experience.
to
Yeah.
like experience losing and experience that feeling, and you just have to know yourself because I'm sure like whatever tricks work for me might not work for you, might not work for somebody else.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I think it's just getting to know your triggers and knowing that hey, it's time to pull the pin. Sometimes a day off, just go enjoy yourself for a day and get in a better mood because yeah, it's crazy how your mood can affect your trading. It was last week. I was just had a bad day, and I got
Uh-huh.
out of bed. I put my socks on. I put one inside out, and it just pissed me off. I don't know why. It just made me so
All right.
mad. I
Yeah.
remember thinking I stopped for a second. I was like, "Okay, I'm not trading today. Like, if that's making me mad, I just have to step away." So,
That's very nice.
yeah, yeah.
Good
I just
decision.
think I've just got to know myself and realize like, hey, today's not the day. There's always another opportunity in the market. So
Perfect.
that's pretty much it. But it wasn't always like that. I definitely
It
I've
comes
I've
down with
done
the experience, of course. Yeah. That
yeah,
makes sense
exactly.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about the trading strategies and risk management, I think when we are trading our personal capital, we are always have the option to lose up to 100% of our account because that's our own capital.
Yeah.
So when I used to trade my personal capital, I used to risk between 3 to 4%, depending on what type of trade that I'm taking, whether it's a plus trade setup or it's the trade with less confirmations. But when it comes down to the prop firms, we have to make a certain risk management system and we have to make sure that we are following every single time, not only for just phase one and phase two, but also for the funded account. So my question to you is, what is your risk management when it comes to doing the challenges as well as trading on the funded accounts?
I have a few rules here. My risk management is like I only use I only ever risk 1% per trade.
Yeah.
I've done 2% before, but I just find for me it affects me a little too much. My
Yep.
emotions, right? It's of course that depends, right? If it's a $10,000 account, It doesn't quite affect me as much. I know it shouldn't matter because, I try to look at it as percentages, not the actual money
Yeah.
amount, the dollar amount. But the fact is, we're human, and when you see a bigger dollar amount in the red, it's emotionally draining. So yeah, I never risk more than 1% per trade, or 3% per week. And then generally, again, like it depends on how I'm feeling that day, but I'll never take more than 2% loss in a day. I'll
Perfect.
just leave. Um, and also, like, again, everybody's human. I take stupid random trades sometimes, right? Where you take a trade and you look at it after, and for the life of you can't figure out why you got in. You just
Yeah.
sing or whatever. So I have that rule too, right? If I take a random trade, I'm done for the day. And then three straight lost days, I'm done for the week. So I just have these rules that are listed very blatantly right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Can't forget them. And I mean, every once in a while you break them. It happens, but it's been a long time. The more I've been doing it now, the more strict I am with it. It still hurts sometimes when you have
Yeah.
those three lost
Yeah.
days, but at least it's three. It's not 10. So yeah, that's in a nutshell mine. Is there anything else that's missing that maybe you're curious about?
Sorry?
Was there anything else that I missed that you're
No,
curious
no, no,
about?
no, no. I just
Or
wanted to
mostly
have the idea like how you manage risk, and that's perfect way.
right.
You have your limits. If you're taking the trade, that's the maximum amount you are going to be risking per trade, as well as for the day and for the week as well. And I think that's a very perfect way to approach the risk management, because when we have the limits, then we're not going to be randomly jumping into the trades by doing revenge trading. When we know that we are down already 1.5 or 2%, that's it. We are done for the day. So there is no need for sit in front of the charts for next 2-3 hours to find the trade opportunity.
No, and that'll generally be a waste of time, and you'll end up losing again.
Yeah.
Um, that's something I obviously didn't always have. But I've been pretty good. That was something I was fairly good at from the start. Was just holding back. Like I said, it still hurts sometimes, but I think rules are one of the most important things
Yeah.
about trading, right? You got
Yeah.
to have laid out strict, clear rules, and if you stick to them, the laws of probability are generally on your side,
That's
and
perfect.
you'll win. And that was another thing. Probability was huge for me when I finally figured out that it's the game of probability, and you can
Yeah.
lose five in a row and still be up,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, I think that's just experience, just going through those losses and then realizing that, I had five losses there, but then you look back at your portfolio and your journal and you realize I'm still up by
Yeah.
a decent amount, right? So
Perfect.
it's all experience, and I still have a long way to go, super long.
Yeah, it's just been 3 years, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be smashing 1 million, 2 million in funding challenges very soon. You're doing good.
That's
You're
the
doing good.
goal.
That's the
Is
goal.
the
Yeah.
goal.
Three recommendations that you will give to the traders who are watching this interview, how they should complete the evaluation and pass it and become the funded trader.
Advice. Okay. I don't know. I guess one is not to be too hard on yourself. I think it's super normal to fail. Everybody fails. I don't know anybody who takes a challenge and
And
crushes
one
it
failed,
off
yeah.
first line and keeps it forever. It just doesn't happen. I mean, there might be somebody out there, but it's not fair to hold yourself to that standard. So that would be one thing. I think that I was hard on myself at first for that until I realized, like, hey, this is normal. So that's huge. And I know everybody always says this, but it's so true, is just sticking with it. And that kind of ties into the first one too, right? You're gonna have losses, but the only way you win is if you stick with it. Like, I think I can't remember what the numbers are, but I think even both of us are already in the 5 percentile, right? Or however that works, 95th
Yeah,
percentile.
yeah, yeah.
95% of traders quit before where we
Yeah.
are at now.
Yeah.
So
100% agree, yeah.
yeah, so I think that's a big thing too, is just fighting through, because I've wanted to quit. Can't count how many times I've wanted to quit, but something keeps pushing me, and I'm finally, seeing what I've been wanting to see, what I've been waiting for the last couple of years. So yeah, I don't know. Another thing, I guess, is just strict risk management, because like you said, prop firms, you got rules to follow, and they're there for a reason. And it is good that they're there, because like you're saying, with your live account, you can blow the whole thing, at least
Yeah.
this way, right? You're stopped out at a certain point,
Yep.
and it can be a good thing. So I think risk management, any kind of trading, but especially prop firm trading, is super important. I know some people shoot 4% a trade on their live account, but I think you got to dial it down, and allow yourself a little grace. Like, I know with MyFlashFunding, it's 4% a day loss. I never get
Yeah.
anywhere
Yeah.
close to that. Right? Like, there's no reason to be shooting for 3.9%.
Yeah.
You know, So I think in any trading, and especially this, it's just risk management. You gotta be really good at that, I think, and then eventually it will work. You
That's
keep going and
yeah.
keep pushing, and risk management is there. You'll make it work.
Well,
So I have off the top of my head.
that was a good interview, man. And thank you so much for your time, for sharing your experience of becoming a profitable trader, how you became a profitable trader, your experience with the prop firms and MyFlashFunding as well. And congratulations again for your recent payout. And guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That was it from this one. We will see you in the next video. Bye for now.